build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello everybody, welcome to The Match by Longbangers. I'm Matty.
I'm Colin by Longbangers.
Did you like that? I thought I'd introduce that in just to kind of keep
From
it on.
Longbangers, I should have said rather than by, but aye.
Well, I thought I'd keep it on brand, and then because we're going to be, I don't know, announce it on The Match. We'll talk about it later on in Longbangers, maybe about the wee changes that are coming up in the podcast. Right, 15 minutes or so, Colin, on this episode. We've got loads to talk about in the main Longbangers tonight when we, this afternoon, when we go into the talking points that folk have sent us in. There's tons of them, so if you've sent us in a message yesterday, we'll do our best to cover it.
As I said to you and John in the wee chat yesterday, it's always better when we lose it.
Oh, aye. It's funny. Yeah, always more interaction when we lose than when we get than when we win. But that's the nature of the beast. Aye.
Everybody's detached, so we get beat.
The nature of the beast. Right, starting lineup. Marshall, Hanlon, Doyle Hayes, Cadden, Hoppe, Jago, Nisbet, Stevenson, Fish, Egan Riley and Campbell. We lined up 3 at the back, 5 in midfield, and Nisbet and Jago up front. What did you think of the lineup, Colin?
I was trying to work out what it was at first. You know, when it came out, I thought, is it a 3 at the back, or is it 4 at the back with Egan Riley in midfield, maybe in a diamond of some sort, you know, but then I thought there's no width there at all if it's a 4-4-2 diamond sort of thing in that. So I was a wee bit going, what are we playing? But then I didn't tend to think too much about it, and I just wait till the game starts and go, oh, it's 3 at the back. So I didn't think, I wasn't sitting going, he's not picked him. I did look at it, and I mentioned, I maybe talk about it later on when we get into more detail on the talking points and that, but noticeable there was no laddies on the bench, even though that was defined as a strategy we were going for.
Fair enough.
It's only the goalie, but I mean that's because he's the only other goalie at the club. And I thought it was only 2 months ago that was, we've done this clear out, we've done all that.
This was the way forward.
Getting the laddies on the bench.
Aye.
We've binned it again. So there's no long term thinking. I think it's so short term, but then you know what? Football fans are short termism, so nobody really wants a long term plan. We'll say it when we get beat. What's a long term plan? Like I'm doing right now. I wasn't saying there's no laddies on the bench when we were beating teams either.
And I think they could have played. Josh O'Connor was up in the West Stand with his old man.
I'm sure he collected the balls after the warm up. I'm sure he did.
So it's not like they wouldn't have been unless they played last night or something. Like
18th man or 19th man. Something like that, you know.
I think like for when we set up the 3-5-2, so the team came out, we were driving to the stadium and Josh had went, I think it's a 3-5-2, and he had a right old complaint about it. And we were all, man, we're like, you know, Ken, like sometimes a 3-5-2 is all right. And Josh was adamant. He's like, it just gives up too much, and you look at too many defensive-minded players in there. And actually, when the game started, he was spot on. Aye,
because it got changed quite quick. But a lot of, I mean, we get a lot of messages in when we lose games saying it should be a 3-5-2, and it's the preferred formation. You know, it was obviously the one that we won the cup with. So I think a lot of folk go back to it was Lennon's preferred sort of formation and that as well in the good old days. So that is a formation that folk like. So I'm sure a lot of folk weren't that bothered about it. But well done, Josh, for that's why the coaching badges he's doing at uni.
Okay, but he called it quite early on, and we started terribly. Really, I mean, it was only a matter of time. I think the way the game was going before Motherwell scored, their goal comes from like we had a sort of clearance out to.
It was a good save to Marshall.
Aye, the clearance before that gets headed back, so we clear it out, but it's to like a sort of shitty area. It's not even halfway up the park. Gets headed back in. Van Veen gets the run on Fish, I think it was. Like you say, Marshall pulls it a good save. Then the boy headers it for the edge of the box. It goes wide, and the referee calls it back for a free kick. So I watched it when it came in, because at the time I didn't even clock the free kick. I was going, fucking hell, what's he pulling it back for? That's a joke. And then I watched it. It looked like a kick to the head again.
A yellow card one.
Yeah, one of the yellow card kicks to the head. No, a red card kick to the head. Even
though there's never been one red card one. Really.
Even though the boy's head was up at head height, like this time as well, it was head height.
Folk make the rules too confusing,
It's too confusing. But anyway, yellow card and the free kick.
Not that I'm demanding a Hibs player get sent off, by the
No,
way, but
not.
that would have been the rule, like based on what we got told against the
A
Commanders.
yellow card was about right for it. I thought it was like fair enough when I saw it back. I
Yeah.
think the complaints about the booking. I think that's probably right for the offence. Different for the one last week where Yuan, or last week, the week before, because of the internationals, because the other player's head was way down, right? So that's where the difference is. Is it Goss the boy who took it? Fires it into the top corner.
Good free kick.
Any complaints about the keeper on it, Colin? Because it sparked a bit of debate, and I went and sort of was freeze framing it last night and sort of saying, like, what's his position like? Where's it gone in?
I'm not complaining about it. I think it was just a cracking free kick. It's enough the underside of the bar as well, so it's like almost, well, it's perfect, isn't it? Like, I suppose perfect would maybe you could argue would not hit the bar, but if it hits the bar and goes in, then
Aye.
It's just a good free kick. What makes it probably look worse is Marshall didn't move. Although you could argue from a Motherwell point of view, that makes it look even better because it's that good. The goalie couldn't even move. But we've had debates on here and had folk messaging around here over the last couple of seasons when a keeper's no dived for something and you're like, and I've said, but he was never getting it.
Aye.
So why fucking dive? But folk like it because it looks like he's tried and he didn't. So that's what I think folk are maybe complaining about because it was nothing to do with it. The quality was just the quality.
Aye, I looked at Marshall's position. He's pretty much central in the goal, and the ball goes in. It's under a foot, I think, for the post. Right, so obviously it clips the bar and comes in. But actually, in terms of how close it was to the actual corner, it's less than a foot. So it's like you say, almost perfectly placed free kick. So I don't think
the wall
Marshall
jumped as well. That side of the wall jumped. I think it was it didn't. Maybe all never went up, but that side of the wall did go.
Aye.
So he's actually scooped up and over. It's pretty. I bet he doesn't. I bet it's 1 out of 10. Like he does in him. Like.
Aye. So we give the boy the credit for that, and I think we absolve Marshall for the for blame there, and then. Hibs just continued to be pretty shit. Like they did change it, went to 4 at the back. Egan Riley went into the middle. There was no subs first half. Was the subs that came at half time? Or the first sub came at half time. So Egan Riley went in the middle. But I thought even then, we still didn't really look like we had figured out how to cope with Motherwell's press or how to break them down. Going forward, we offered very, very little. Nisbet had a sort of a header that their keeper saved. I think he should have done better with that one. Like it's a free header for 6 yards out.
I didn't think so at the time. I thought it was all right. I thought the keeper done well. Like I don't maybe he could have directed it into a corner, but no, I just thought a good save, good EW save at the time. I've only seen it back once to be as well. I've not really considered, so I thought it was all right.
I thought he just jumped a fraction early. That's I think maybe he got under it a bit more than he probably would have liked. So if he timed his jump ever so slightly better, I think he probably would have found it easier to direct it like he did with the one that he scored from. Yeah. So anyway, the keeper saves it, and we didn't really look like threatening. I think that was the only save that their keeper had, more or less in the game, but definitely in the first half. Second half, McCurdy came on for Jake Doyle-Hayes, who he can't have any complaints about going off. Like, I mean, you could have picked any of them.
Aye, but I guess he was in the booking because he was one that got booked for the high foot.
Aye.
So I suppose if you're taking one of them off, you take the one that's on the yellow, because they were as bad as each other.
Aye. McCurdy came out. He had like a shot that sort of went just wide of the post. It actually was much closer where it ended up than I thought it was when he hit it. I was like, "What the fuck's he shooting for there for?" And it didn't miss by much. He actually kind of caught it quite well. Didn't do much else in the game other than that. And then as we're pressing to try and so actually get your thoughts on this, right? Motherwell's second goal comes through Van Veen, gets the ball in the like sort of the edge of our box to the side, tries a shot, comes back, bounces off his arm, and he shoots again, and he goes out. Must have nicked off somebody for a corner. If that ball had gone in, it's a free kick for a handball. They go VAR and they'll go, is it a handball? Aye.
Yeah.
Free kick
for Hibs. Shouted for handball at the time.
Aye. So
why did when they got? I don't, because the referee never saw it. I think so. They mustn't go to VAR.
Do you think? But I think the referee's seen it. He's looking at it.
I don't know because
it's an obvious one.
I know. And they only check VAR for big decisions. But then when they skip forward, they scored the penalty, they checked up for a handball before they took the penalty.
Aye, do you think they
And
were
I
going
can't
back to
remember
that
what that
incident?
handball was. And I'm going, because the boy in front's going, it's for that handball. Ken, we were shouting for the one you just mentioned. I'm going, can they go that far back?
Nah,
Because I
surely
thought
no.
once they got the corner, I thought we had the conversation on here. Once you've got the corner, taken the corner, you can't then go back and say, well,
No.
shouldn't have been a corner. Because then you're like rewinding back to kick off and going, well, you fucking kicked it the wrong way for kick off sort of thing. You know what I mean? You're like, how far do you go? And so I'm not sure what the handball they were checking before he took the penalty was. But it could have been that. And they've went, nah. I don't know, because I don't know whether a handball came in.
Aye.
But we all shouted for a handball at that point, and they got the corner for it, and then for that, fuck knows how long it went on, and then fucking Marshall came out and like run out his fucking quicksand out of his box to just hack the boy down.
I mean, it was a ludicrous attempt. I shouted for the high foot with the boy hooked up into the box as well, because he's got a defender right behind him. I'm going, well,
dangerous.
Just because he's no kicked, because he's no made contact, that
That's
doesn't
right.
mean
So
it's no.
explains,
But
didn't it?
as his foot was up, I was like, fucking, how's that not a high foot then? Anyway, it wasn't a high foot, and it's one of those tenuous claims anyway. Kind of boys hooked it in.
Yeah.
Like you say, Marshall's just made a right cunt, hasn't he? Really, I mean, he's awful.
I mean, absolutely terrible, and everybody around us was going, oh, for fuck's sake! Like nobody tried to say that's never a penalty or anything, which like in the claim for everything sort of world, so it's not quite unique, but it doesn't happen very often. But everybody just goes, oh fuck's sake!
Aye,
and that's what everybody did do, because he was so slow off his line. Now you could argue the defenders didn't cover selling glory, right? But he's the last line of defence. If he's coming for that, he should have easily made that. He didn't, and then when he did, he just acted like somebody that's never played outfield before in their life. Because, as I say most weeks, I watch youth football, and the lasses I watch every week would have shadowed that player. It's not just fucking dived in and hacked them down like that. And what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Like it just totally out of his comfort zone. Just ran out and just hacked the boy.
It was like when Stuart Pearce played David James up front for Man City at that time. That's what it was like. Total
fish out of water stuff. It's like, and we gave hammered fish for nobody to shadow that boy at the game in the year, and that there is as schoolboyish defending as what that shadowing that boy is in my eyes. It was terrible. He was far too slow. Defence should have covered it, they never. So he come out to clear it up. Was fucking, don't know how fast he does 20 metres in, like, for fuck's sake. And then, like, amateurish level tackle.
Do you think he was lucky not get a red?
No, I think it's a red card. What would they have me a red card for?
So, clear goal scoring opportunity, right? Because there's no defending the other boys. He's in. Marshall's not going to save it. You can't see it's a genuine attempt for the ball. I mean, and you see how high he caught the boy as well. I mean, he's kicked him across the fucking waist. I'm like,
I just assumed he was too wide out because I heard the Motherwell fans shouting for it, and I thought it's not a red card. But then I know you say that when you point out the 2 or 3 things.
I was like, why is it? Have we got away with one there? Was what I was maybe thinking. Again, not that I would want them.
I think always get away with stuff being clumsy as fuck like that because they're no football players, are they? You know, in the main, there's no very many. I mean, you even seen it was even at one point yesterday. Like we've obviously, like I've read it on the message boards about how his distribution's world class, and that I read it the day again, and he made a save yesterday, which we've been saying, make more saves. He did make one. And then the next thing he done was smash the ball fucking directly to play. And you're like, can you not have one without the other? Like, if you make a save, you can't even fucking distribute. It's like, well, what do you get? It's like, I had him do this on my predictions, which we'll need to revisit at some point in May.
What, player of the year?
When the season's over in a week or two. I had him do my player of the year. My prediction.
No chance. No chance. And then the penalty, I always feel like it's harsh to say a keeper should have saved the penalty, but that's a howler for Marshall with the penalty. Aye.
Same against Celtic.
Yeah.
It was the same. It was almost the exact same dive the same way. Almost stopped it. And then, like, stopped it by landing on it. And then when he rolled off it, that spun the ball into the net. Like, sort of style. I think, what, the timing? His timing. I think I've never been a goalie that saved a penalty. So, don't know, but I don't know how you do that twice. But
because it was a shite penalty.
For no saving. It was a shite penalty because they two were at each other's throats because Marshall had tried to get him sent off a minute before. He went over pushed them, and then when he got pushed back, he gave it the big press the pawns. Yeah,
filled in. Referee wasn't interested in that either, was he? This was like what he's doing.
But it was Burns, like fucking 38-year-old men.
And then it looked like we were maybe getting a wee lifeline. Newell had come on, I think, by this point, which was I thought he was good when he came on. To be fair, if you were to try and pick out a highlight for the game, as was Chibrai, I thought he had a decent run it.
We wanted Newell on earlier. Like we thought it should have half time would have been Newell and the big man up front. But by that time we put all the strikers on as well. Like
we were chasing the game. Cadden crossed the ball in. Nisbet's timed his run well. Lovely header, and I mean it's a cracking goal. Really all in.
Yeah.
And you thought like when we went 2-1, there was still 20 odd minutes left to go. I'm like, I think we'll take something out of this. Just like sometimes a goal like that shifts the momentum. But then it wasn't long after that then that Motherwell broke forward again. Fish was defending. I didn't think it was a free. Again, you said we would be shouting for it. I watched it back. The boys just the boys sold it with the referee. Fish actually only goes down on top of him because the boys like fall over. Fish has
I don't massively disagree, but I think it's a foul, like as soft as it is, and I think he should have probably dealt with it better before it got to that stage. I just thought.
But is Fish not just you were saying about the shadowing and just making sure he's not gone anywhere with it? That's what I was like. He's not
just falling over him. Because like if the shadowing him, the boy falls and you didn't fall on top of him.
Well, maybe, but
I just thought if that was at the other end, we'd be going fucking nuts. Like,
but the thing is, there had been ones at the other end like that the ref had just fucking waved play on.
Totally
Campbell got done with it just like a couple of minutes before that, I'm sure. Because obviously Campbell got subbed off because he looked like he was losing the rag a wee bit. He had a bad game.
He was going to, because he swung at somebody like he was on the ground and he swung out, and I was like, oh, fuck. If you catch him, you're in danger. He was obviously losing a bit of frustration. It's maybe a soft free kick, and sometimes you didn't get them, sometimes you do, and because maybe the nature of it was just the two of them in that part of the park as well. If there's other players round it, you might get away with it, but you don't get away with it, and it's 1-on-1 like that. I don't think. But then, and there was another decent free kick, but I think
I watched it back. Keeper's got to save it. Like it's like he's went doing instalments for it.
Just one of the time.
One of these ones you look at it and going, fucking hell, was that his side? He's dived the right way, and he's just, I didn't care how it was going through him. I didn't care how it was going in. I watched it a few times, like, how's he not fucking saved that?
It's been disappointing recently,
And then that was, I think it was still like 10 minutes to go. Stadium emptied, 3-1. I think everybody saw the right on the ball. We sat out till like fucking full time. We didn't even get the sympathy 2 minutes injury time, and they went and fucking played the whole. You're getting 6 minutes. You're gonna have to fucking sit through this.
I was away.
Bad day at the office. So
I left, but it made me odds because I should have waited and missed the traffic that way.
That's what I did. It was a clear
run. Didn't go early enough. That was the problem. I was like, I'll get to 85. It was about 87 by the time I went, and but my daughter was like, 80, right, let's go. Because she had a bad day earlier, like I was telling you. Then we went to that. She was like, right, let's. Once the third went in, come on, and I'm going, no, get it, because I might get one back, and then.
I say I missed the traffic, right? I pretty much did miss the traffic. Just to chuck this in here, right? There was see if you come down the bottom of Smoky Brae, there's a roundabout. Right, so we sitting waiting to turn right to go up towards Jock Lodge, and just in the line of traffic, fucking indicator on, there was a boy in a BMW. As he was passing, he was like, "Yeah, fucking arsehole." I was like, she shouted at me, like, I didn't care what else I could have done. Like, can we just sit and wait? And there was there was nothing behind me. I wasn't blocking the inside or fuck all. I didn't care what. I was just
maybe just get you for this.
Maybe. But he would have to have stopped to have had a look in to see who it was. I was like, I ken him. Fucking weird, eh? And then he went speeding away up towards.
Could be anybody.
Craig and Tinney or whatever. Could be. Oh, what were you thinking? Angry about somebody? Like, I couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. So if you're listening,
get in touch. Tell me what you were annoyed about. I'd love to fucking know. I'll try to avoid it next time. Maybe it's because I was indicating boys in a BMW. Maybe it was just a bit annoyed that
somebody's. So was that fucking in flashing? Maybe dazzled him or something. It was.
Anyway, right, we will go and talk about all the talking points for the game now on Longbangers, which, if you're a subscriber, you'll get this evening. It'll even be tonight. I'll publish it after this, and you'll get it this evening.
Which is Sunday.
Sunday evening. If you're not a subscriber, it'll be out on Monday night. There you go. Right, so we'll go and record that, and we'll do extra time. Topic to be decided. We've not figured that out yet, but we'll get there. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.